Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for TWiT specials is provided by Cachefly at CACHEFLY.com.
Howdy, I'm Brian Brushwood.
And I'm Lisa Bettany.
And at this very moment, streaming over to Austin, South by Southwest, is Leo, Tom, and Sarah Lane. But meanwhile, we're here live on the scene for the release of the iPad 2. Brought to you, the coverage is brought to you by the LiveView backpack unit. You could stream anytime, anywhere. Send it out to the Ustream. It's absolutely crazy, and it makes everything you're about to see possible. Let's talk about the iPad 2.
Well, it's been crazy. Like, there's a lot of energy here. There's a lot of people. I mean, obviously, we've got a lot of geeks in the crowd, a lot of Apple fanboys, and people are just like, have been waiting.
We got Apple rock stars carrying smart water right behind us.
But when they opened up the doors, it was crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of energy, a lot of people excited, even though we've been talking about how this isn't necessarily like a huge jump from the iPad 1. People are still excited. People are still, even if they have an iPad 1, they're still jumping right in and getting the iPad 2.
Well, it's the right place. If you're going to get somebody who's, inelastic in their spending demands, it's going to be us. They were saying 2 to 3 weeks.
Ooh,
people are going to have to wait for their iPad 2.
So you've got to get out there.
Well, yeah, you got to get. Now that doesn't mean that anybody who's out here in person, of course, very likely is going to be able to get one, especially if they were smart enough to get in line crazy early. Hey, how's it going? Sorry about that.
We're at South by Southwest, so
here's what I want to know.
Things go.
For those of you who haven't heard the specs on the iPad 2, of course, they didn't give any specific details in the original keynote,
right?
Or at least not as many as people would like. But the rumors are that we're looking at 512 megabytes of RAM, which is double what the original iPad 1. We're looking at a dual-core A5 processor, and we have seen a few benchmarks come out already. I think it was called Geekbench was what I saw. But the numbers they showed that you had the iPhone 4, which is an underclocked A4 processor, and then above that you had the iPad. But
right.
the iPad 2 almost twice the performance of the iPhone. All accounts. It sounds like people are very satisfied with most of the iPad 2. Now
the only thing, thing that I'm a little bit bummed about is the camera. Like when it went live, we were like speculating as to whether it was going to have an iPod Touch camera or whether it was going to have an iPhone 4 camera.
Right.
And unfortunately, we got the crap end of the stick.
Yeah. Now, and there's a lot for the samples I've seen. The camera quality is for video. You mind if we talk to you? Hey, I'm Brian Brushwood. What's your name? Mark. Where are you from, Mark?
Ireland.
From where?
Ireland.
Where's Ireland?
Ireland.
Oh, Ireland. I didn't. So you came. I assume you're here and now you're going to buy a new iPhone 4 too.
Yes.
So you came to Ireland for what? South by Southwest, right? Okay. Yeah, exactly. I didn't know what you were showing me there for a second. So, and you're in line to get an iPad 2, of course.
Correct, yeah.
All right, and so do you own a current generation iPad?
No.
Now, why didn't you buy the first go-around?
I knew the second one to be out at some stage.
So from the very beginning, you're like, I'm not going to be a first-generation guy. I'm going to make sure until it's faster, better, stronger.
Correct.
Okay, and then and are you buying just one for yourself? Which tier are you going to go for?
The bottom.
The bottom, the very cheapest, right?
I like it. I mean, honestly, I have a 16-gigabyte current one, and it's fine. Like,
absolutely.
It's zippy and, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and speaking of what are you going to use it for? What's your need that the tablet? Have you been frothing at the mouth for a tablet for a long time?
Just a while, but mainly for reading.
Yeah.
And I'm writing a book as well, so.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, good. What was your name again? Mark. What's that?
Mark.
Mark. See, it's that accent. That's insane. Now, have you seen how long the line is all the way around the building?
I was talking to the guys at the front a second ago.
And how optimistic are you on that? Do you think there's a chance you're going to wait all the way through line and not be able to get one?
Possibly, but I'm willing to.
But it wouldn't break your heart, you know?
No, not at all. I'll come back tomorrow.
Oh, so well, you know what?
It would break my heart.
I know. I'm like, I wasted so many hours. Awesome.
The guys at the front are there since 8, but I suppose you're guaranteed it.
Yeah. Well, I guess so. Well, thank you very much, Mark. Appreciate it, man. It's good to see you. Best of
you.
luck with that. So sorry about the accent. He says, don't ever apologize for the accent, Mark. Awesome. Well, let's move ahead. So at this point, we've got, having waited essentially 0 minutes, we're going to move ahead. Oh, I like the look of these people. Hey, do you guys mind if we talk to you for a little bit? I'm Brian Brushwood. What's your name?
Todd.
Todd. Where are you from, Todd?
From Atlanta.
From Atlanta. And I assume you're in town for the big South by Southwest?
We are indeed.
And now, what's your name?
Jacob.
Jacob? Awesome. That's not what you...
How
right.
psyched
So anyway.
are you?
I am freakishly excited for the iPad 2.
Yeah, that's what we want to hear.
So do you guys own an iPad 1, a first generation?
We do not.
You do not. Now, you guys sat out the first round for what reason?
We just didn't. We just weren't ready to get one.
Now, what is it about the iPad 2 that has you so fired up?
It's this guy.
Well, mostly the dual-core A5 chip. The front and back video cameras are nice. I was going to get a first iPad, but I just didn't want to get it right before the second one came out.
Oh, so this has been a recent decision that you wanted to cross over. Do you know what tier you're going to get?
Probably the 32 gig Wi-Fi.
Okay,
Nice.
yeah, a lot of people are going for the Wi-Fi. Now, one of the things that we read recently is there was a developer, the folks who did, I believe, Infinity Blade, one of the video games on there, said that the gap between the iPad 2 and the Xbox 360 is getting smaller and smaller. It's amazing how you get current generation level of graphics on there. Are you going to do a lot of video gaming on your iPad?
Yes, I am. I actually own Infinity Blade, and that's one of the games I'm looking forward to playing.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, as a matter of fact, because they kept the same resolution as the current generation iPad, they released an upgrade in textures and the more anti-aliasing. It's supposed to make a massive difference in the quality. Is Infinity Blade good?
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Well, good. And so what's the first thing you're going to do when you get open your iPad 2?
I'm probably going to FaceTime all my friends with iPhone 4s and probably download GarageBand and iMovie.
Nice,
Fantastic.
nice. Do you make music?
It's sort of a hobby, but
Nice. And white or black?
definitely black.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
no doubt.
surprised. And everybody wanted the white iPhone, which of course never came to pass, or at least not yet.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'm going to bet. Is anybody getting a white iPad 2? Hands in the air if you're getting white. Anyone? We got one guy over here. Everyone else?
There's no chicks in this line.
Well, that's right. You know what? That's what we'll do is we're going to go looking for chicks then. Best of luck, guys. Now, are you worried at all that you're going to wait in line? Because obviously we got a very long line. Do you think they're going to have enough to get everyone here?
Yeah, we're feeling good.
Have you gotten any kind of inside sauce or something? You have a mole on the inside? All right. Well, if you find something out, let us know. Thanks so much. All right. Now, you said you are getting the white one, right?
Because then everyone will know I have the iPad 2 and that I'm cooler than those who
I
still
got
have
it.
the
I
iPad.
got
You don't think they're going to be able to tell? Because it's 33% thinner, right?
That's what they tell me. Plus, you can play with the new cover and show that off.
The Snappy
Instead of-
Snap? Are you
instead of
excited
just
about the
using
Snappy?
it. Yeah.
What color?
The
Snappy. You're going to go white with that too, so it just like really blends in?
That would be good for the desert camouflage. Maybe for here.
Okay.
I don't know. Blue,
And what about you? Are you doing which tier of the iPad 2?
the cheap one.
The cheap one, yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot
Yeah,
of people
yeah.
doing the cheap one as well.
I'm all for cheap.
My old iPad around Christmas in preparation for this. Actually,
Smart.
Even before the
Yeah.
announcement, you knew something had to be coming.
Everything's so predictable. Like you can start to plan in advance.
And did you have the original, the 16 gig Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Where did you sell? Like Gazelle.com?
eBay.
Oh, and what did you get for it?
$450.
That's amazing.
What?
So essentially, you rented an iPad for an entire year or half a year for $50.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, that's the way to
Yeah,
go,
that's-
dude. Absolutely. We've heard tales of people who, like, during the keynote, the moment they saw what the iPad 2 was going to look like, they went on Gazelle before they had a chance to to rejigger the prices on there and get them out while they still could.
I feel kind of nostalgic with my old electronics.
Yeah, I don't give them away like
Yeah.
that.
I'll give them away to family members, but I don't want to.
Well, and I'll
I
tell
like
you.
to keep it in the family.
For me personally, that's when it's great to have kids or a wife so that you have an excuse to be like, well, I'll give this to my wife and
Yeah,
finally
exactly.
and then I'll give this one to the
Here's
kids.
the old one.
So there's lots of, and then there's some part of me that feels really guilty that my 3-year-old daughter has a first generation or even a second generation iPhone because it's like, I don't want to buy anything new. We'll just give her this. Well, cool, man. Best of luck. Hope you guys get to exactly what you're looking for. All right, let's move on forward. Now, we're rapidly approaching. It's a 5 o'clock release time, and I don't know if I assume that that's in each time zone, as I understand it. So it's like a wave of happy people getting their iPads, starting in the East Coast, going all the way to the West Coast. And what's interesting is I know some of the locations have had people camped out for days already.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. Like, I thought that this was going to be, like, crazy. But I guess there are 2 other Apple stores in Austin.
Well, and also, most people who live here in Austin who don't follow the news aren't even going to know that there's an Apple store in the middle of downtown, because that's something, as far as I know, Apple's never done before.
I know.
They rented out some studio space right here in the middle of downtown. They're no dummies. They know that we've got a bazillion of the tech-savviest people in the world right here for South by Southwest. And we were actually, we don't have the footage to show right now. I'm sure we could show it in the edit, but we actually have the unveiling of the Apple logo. Everybody cheering.
Oh,
it was as though it was awesome. I mean,
how long is this pop-up? Is going to be here for the whole of South by Southwest?
Certainly. I know it's going to be for at least a week or so, but the significant thing is they kept it secret until just 2 days ago. We got. Yeah, Monday or Tuesday, we suddenly got a flurry of people letting us know about this. As far as I know, I've never seen anything quite like that, and it'll be interesting to see. My guess is it will be shockingly similar to the regular store Apple experience, because what they do, I mean, essentially they just create a party atmosphere anyway, so it's like you got to catch the eye of someone to come over, strike up a conversation, and set up. Wait, oh, you want to up? Okay. I was just like... Gotcha. You're saying don't hold the transmitter. I looked over there, and I'm not going to recreate what Jammer B was gesturing, but it looked extraordinarily obscene. Turns out he was talking about how I was holding the microphone. Let's move on forward and see if we can find some more people to talk to.
Hey, I want to talk to my friend here's in the line.
Oh,
Hi,
you got
Scott.
buddies right here.
Hi, Scott and Phil.
How's it going?
Hey, yeah. Woo.
No, these guys are extremely excited. Like, we've been texting all day. And what color are you getting, Scotty?
I'm getting a white iPad.
I knew it.
So, we do have one of the whites. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually still on the fence on black and white, but Scott's convincing me a little bit to go with white this time.
And why is that, Phil?
I mean, I've always gone with black, and it's like nice for a change of pace, right? Yeah.
You have to go to the white one because it's changing things up. Otherwise, you're going to have the same thing again. And then there's not really that much different from last year or so. When I have the iPad 1 and the iPad 2 sitting on my table, I need to know which one to pick up.
Please.
Right,
Because it'll be so confusing. You're suddenly an old man. You're like, I can't tell the difference between my iPads. If only they were color-coded for my convenience.
I don't know. Yeah, no, that's definitely what the case is, yeah.
Now, how long have you guys been in line at this point?
We got here
About an hour,
just
right?
after 3 o'clock, so we've been, about an
check
hour,
my phone.
20 minutes or something. We're number apparently 128. You're 128.
Oh, good. So they are handing out numbers for
They're
everything.
not handing out numbers. Some person just counted casually.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Some person just counted.
She goes 128, 129, 130, 140, then finally she's like, I'm 154. And at first she was happy, then she was kind of sad. So it was...
I'm pretty sure they'll have, that means they got to have at least 300 iPads, and I'm pretty sure they're going to cover that.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope for South by Southwest, right? This crowd. Yeah, I mean, we were just talking. This is an awesome crowd to be in line with because it's it's like the best one. It's like the most interesting 1% of geeks from every Apple store around the country have come here, collected.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you what I'd be interested to see, because the big speculation is whether or not the incremental improvements were enough to get people who already owned iPads to run out and buy another one. And the estimates I saw online were about 20%. I would say that's certainly not the case here. I say easily 80% of these people already have an iPhone, right? Or an iPad.
This is like the Uber geek line that you have pretty much. These are all people who have the iPads. Probably most of them are actually developers, too, who are making apps or stuff like that, so they need like the new iPad anyway.
Now, I'll tell you the big question. We've asked everyone, what tier are you guys purchasing?
That's actually a good question.
You haven't even decided yet? You're already in line?
Just winging this, Phil.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've just been procrastinating on the decision forever now, and I have to make up my mind. Yeah, I guess next hour or two.
I'm gonna get the 64 gig one.
Of course you are.
Wow.
Just so I don't have regrets.
Top of the line. He always goes top of the line.
You can't have the issue of, like, if I have 30 gigs of stuff on there, I don't want to go, if I would have spent that extra $100 4 months ago, I wouldn't be worrying about this thing.
What are you putting on your iPad?
I don't know. Just,
Lots of porn.
I don't want to know that.
Friendly, no. I don't know, like photos and music and stuff, especially like with those fun DJ apps where you can like mix music now.
DJ apps.
Are you gonna shoot movies on it? Are you gonna shoot movies on the iPad?
I'm gonna shoot movies on my iPad, and then I'm gonna edit them in iMovie, and I'm gonna be the next Steven Spielberg, and it's gonna be. Yeah, I just like to point out, like 4 days from now, there's gonna be a video that's gonna go around either on YouTube or probably Vimeo that this was totally shot and edited and produced on my iPad.
And it's gonna be Scott's sex tape.
No, it's not.
That's great. Now, and you actually bring up a good point, because for all the talk that there's been a lot of grumbling about the quality of the cameras, both in the front and the back, you point out how awkward it is to handle the iPad as a video taking device. Do you see yourself really doing much video with the iPad, or is it just a FaceTime toy?
I think it's going to be an interesting experience to actually shoot video with it, because when I think about it, every device that I've ever shot video on has the little tiny 3-inch screen on the back. And I can't think of anything I've ever used before that has like a huge 10-inch screen, and you're walking around, it's almost like a window on the world or something. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, but it'll definitely be interesting. So.
Yeah. I just have this picture of you holding it like, it's almost like I can see the world around me. This is amazing.
Like augmented reality or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's another thing where it could be useful, right?
Yeah, and actually, because, of course, the iPad 2 has the gyroscope in there. It's very precise with the accelerometers on it.
Sometimes the same problem where you're going around like this, so.
I don't know. That might be kind of cool to do an augmented reality scavenger hunt.
Seeing stuff, yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah,
you're going to laugh
really cool.
when you're walking around and you see people walking around with their 10-inch iPad like, where is that? Is it over there? Oh, yeah, there it is. And then they're walking. I mean, people are going to start getting in accidents if the augmented reality stuff ever does take off.
So you're actually the first person in line we spoke to who is going for the high-end, now, are you doing Wi-Fi only, or are you also getting coverage?
This is my theory on this. I'm going with the Verizon one because I already have my iPhone on AT&T. And so my theory is I'll always have internet access of some kind. So I'll either have Wi-Fi or hopefully I'll have AT&T signal, and if that fails, I'll have Verizon signal.
See, now what you need to do.
We're talking to someone who has how many iPads?
Actually, I'm going to tell you the truth. I have to buy a lot of them for work-related stuff, and I actually got a phone call from Apple a couple weeks ago on how I had bought 14 of them, and they can't sell me anymore. So I'm hoping that doesn't come up when I'm up there today.
And you're going to buy me one today, right?
Yes.
Are you?
Picking up yours for you, so 16 gig, and then when I get back out the store, we can unbox it and see how different it looks from the old one.
All right, we're going to have to scoot on up here. It was great to see you guys. Congratulations on your intended purchase. Here we go.
Bye.
All right, so now here's what's interesting on the way the line formed, Lisa, is that everyone back here, now we're already about halfway up to the front, and most of these people have shown up in the last 90 minutes or so. But the big gap, at some point, we jump way forward to where all of a sudden
these are the super fans,
the hardcores.
Yeah.
Now I gotta wonder how many of them are getting in line just to get in line, and because it's different when you're out in a strange town in the South by Southwest. Like if you were at home, you'd have to take the day off and then make a big deal about getting in line early on. But these people are already here.
Line.
Exactly. So it's like I wonder if that makes it a little bit easier to get in line at 10 in the morning. Let me ask these guys: how long have you guys been standing here in line?
2:30.
Since 2:30, so that's what? Only 3 hours then. Okay.
Until about 30 minutes ago, there was nothing official. The Apple employees were not wearing Apple shirts. There was no logo on the thing. It was all faith that we were here and this was going to be a real line.
So there was no acknowledgement that you were just lined up outside of some bizarre random warehouse?
Absolutely.
Holy cow. And so was there a sense of relief when they put the Apple logo up and
giving us Apple water? Yes, absolutely.
Clued in when they handed us the spring water that is kind of the traditional Apple line spring water.
Smart water. Oh, yeah.
Because you're smart for buying Apple products is what they're saying.
Boy, they all suck up to us.
And so, are you guys all current iPad customers? You guys, and you're all doing the upgrade right now.
We all develop for iPad.
Oh, well, that certainly makes it a.
We have to be. We have no choice.
Are you spending your own money or the company dime for these?
Our own, or my own.
Yeah, and so number one thing you're most excited about trying on the iPad 2?
I think probably the thinness, the weight, the additional battery life, and the cameras.
You find
the
the current iPad bit weighty then?
Yeah, after a while, it doesn't have the smooth
Do you own a
feel to
MacBook
it.
Pro?
Yes, I do.
No,
you can't.
Right?
You can't, absolutely.
iPad 2, gorgeous.
So, and I
right?
think the FaceTime on it's going to be really nice as well. That's going to be.
video conferencing is really important for me because I do education as well, so I'm teaching classes. Be able to do that from the iPad rather than having to drag around a Mac will be great.
Yeah, and I know some people like to poo-poo the FaceTime, but I know personally, I'm on the road so much, we use Skype to connect with my kids, and right now my wife has to set it up on the laptop and point it at them. I'm really looking forward to setting a device at home that's so dead simple my 4-year-old could just pick it up and press buttons and then get a hold of Dad.
Yeah, you should talk to people who have kids who are using the iPads, and right now the kids just love them. I have this friend who basically taught his kid, or gave his kid an iPad, learned how to use it. When he took her on a JetBlue flight, she just basically tried to touch the screen and the JetBlue didn't do it. She was very frustrated.
That's the way my daughters are.
I actually did that to an ATM once.
You're like, why is this not working?
I pretty much do it to everything that I come up to.
That's how both of my daughters are with television. They don't understand that not everything's DVR. They're on demand. They're like, well, I want Scooby-Doo. And you're like, no, sweetie, that's not what's on. All right, we got to run, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to get all the way up to the front because we are down to the last few minutes, 15 minutes and counting until we open up here. And certainly these people at the front of the line have to feel a sense of relief that they're like, this has meant something.
They're peeling off the
There we go.
thing.
They're displaying the entire. Let's rush on over here. Come on. Come on. We're going to run on over here and see the unveiling of what looks like just another regular Apple store. You can see they got the Apple logo up there. Everything's super clean.
They've taken to actually do this.
You know, it would not surprise me, and of course this is all just speculation, but if they made the announcement on Monday, it might be the kind of thing where they just secured a lease and then ran in and set everything up over 24 hours.
I wonder if they had a mastermind plan, though.
From the beginning, you think it's something that...
Well, I mean, when they announced it, I'm like, South by Southwest, so they must have had some kind of inkling.
That's a really good question. I don't know if it is the kind of thing where they would think about that in advance. They certainly... very unlikely that they planned the date based on South by Southwest. It seems like the kind of thing that they came up with a release date, and then they said, wait a minute, that's during South by Southwest.
Yeah.
And they came up with this as a opportunity to make a splash.
Yeah, it's very undercover, though. I'm surprised that so many people didn't know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, at this point, we are just around the corner. Let me ask some of these guys. How long have you guys been in the line at this point?
4 hours.
4 hours. So you got here, see, and again, 4 hours in the tradition of Apple devices is not a terribly long time. Did you wait in line for the other devices as well?
No.
No, this is the first one? What about this one made you decide to wait?
I just happened to be down here and decided to...
Total impulse thing.
Yes.
Do you own any other Apple devices?
I do.
One of everything, huh? So was there any hesitation knowing that this is more an evolution of the product rather than a revolutionary step forward? Is there anything that made you think maybe I'll wait, or it was just like, got to have it the moment it was announced?
Well, I didn't buy the first one, so I was waiting for the second one.
Oh, good. Okay, so you're an Apple fan, but you sat out the first generation.
Correct.
Awesome. Well, good.
Have it as soon as it came out, for sure.
Awesome. Well, cool, man. Well, congratulations. Which tier of the iPad are you getting?
I'm not sure yet.
Really? Now, how can you've had 4 hours to think about this. You've had nothing to think about.
Are you going to sort of feel them and compare the weight, or like go with your instinct?
Probably by the Wi-Fi without the 3G.
Okay, and then just make the impulse decision of whether you want the 16, 32, or 64?
Correct, yeah.
Wow. All right, well, best of luck, man.
Awesome.
Enjoy your purchase. All right, let's keep on moving on up here.
We're heading up to the first person in the
very,
line.
very front of the line, the hardest of the hardcore. People who've been here.
Have you ever been first in an Apple line?
Never.
That's kind of an honor.
And actually, let's jump up ahead. Let's actually take a look at some of the folks from. And actually, let me check with Eileen. You want to go to the front of the line and then meet up? Okay, you got it. Now we are getting very antsy up here at the very, very front. We're going to talk to some friends of the show who've been. Oh, look at this. Now they're marking people in line. They're actually taking pre-orders. This is like
oh wow,
they're at a restaurant.
So now this is the point where you have to know what you want. So you can't be like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna get.
Yeah,
you gotta, like, boom.
Absolutely, and it's sort of like the concierge or the host at the restaurant asking if you want smoking or non-smoking. Back when that was even an option. So well, let's talk to the people who've already made their decisions up here. All the way up here. Look at this. Hold on. What's going on here, fellas? Dude, how long have you guys been here in line?
6:30 in the morning.
6:30 in the morning? Now tell me you went straight from the bar, like straight from the bar, didn't even go to bed, came out here, laid down, and fell asleep.
I wish that was the case, but I needed to go home, walk the dog, go to sleep.
So your residence here in Austin, then?
In Austin.
And so obviously you're in Austin. You're here for South by Southwest. Now you being here in Austin, you know all the other locations. What made you want to pick this one?
Because as soon as I'm done, I can go A, right to the bar, and B, right back into South by.
And so did you, when you got here at 6:30, there was obviously almost no confirmation that this was going to be the location. There was no confirmation that that you were in the right spot, and obviously you were the first person in line. What goes through your mind at 6:30 in the freaking morning as you stand alone on a random street?
Well, I figured since all the windows were blacked out and 2 APD officers that were guarding the building go, hey, you're the first one, I figured I was in the right spot.
Good. Yeah. At least you got some confirmation.
Oh, yeah, and all the FedEx trucks arriving. They just would not stop for the next couple hours.
So what time? Yeah, you guys are the ones who actually saw the trucks arrive. What time did they arrive today?
Yeah, a little after 8, like around 8:30, but they kept coming. Like there was one that was early that seemed to dropped off a little bit of stuff, and then they just kept coming.
How
many
long?
trucks did
yeah,
we
that's
have?
how many did you see?
Well, there's a few of the small trucks, just so like you're dropping off like signs and other things. But there was one big freight truck that's got that had all the pallets of all. It looks like the iPads. We're assuming because they're in bin boxes.
So, okay, so you're saying if you were going to make a rough estimate, how many pallets do you think you saw go in here?
Well, they were stacked tall, so you know, I guess 4 to 6 that we saw on there, but they were stacked all the way to the top of the truck. So.
If you're going to make up a number, obviously you figure, yeah, the iPad box is about, what, 3 inches deep by 8.5 by 11 or so? Yeah.
I'd say 2,000 to 3,000. That'd be my guess.
Holy cow! Yeah.
So we're good.
Yeah, I think we're all going to be good at this point. Now, we've been asking everyone. You got to tell me what tier are you going for and how many are you buying?
Well, I'm getting 2, a 32 gigabyte Wi-Fi for myself, black, and then also a black 16 gigabyte. 3G one as a gift.
You know, I gotta wonder how many people. We're shocked. Almost nobody wants the white, and you want the white. Now, why do you guys want the white?
They're just different, eh?
It's not black.
Yes. So hard to not make some kind of like racist joke or something like that, but now you,
South Africa.
And so it's a case where it's like you want to flash. It's like flashing your bling. You want everyone to know. You're like, that's right, iPad 2, suckers.
We want the bling,
one,
man.
They can confuse it for iPad 1. White one, they can't confuse for the iPad 1.
You want to know, like, I'm better than you. So, and you got here at 6:30. How shortly after did you guys arrive? Oh, wow. So you're standing alone for 90
all by
minutes.
yourself.
We get here, we ask him, is this the place? He says, He tries to throw us off, but we stuck around until...
He said iPhone, not iPad.
Don't lie, don't
Hilarious.
lie.
So how did you guys handle, without getting too graphic, certain biological necessities? You got to eat. Okay, of course.
Nice. Convenient.
And I know in previous years, Apple's catered. You know, they've actually given people Starbucks coffee as they wait in line. Did they do anything like that this time?
We got smart water.
But even then, you only got it like within the last hour, right?
Pretty much. Yeah, about 3 o'clock. I think we got it. Yeah.
Guy hiding out some food and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, one Apple
Yeah.
bought us lunch.
Someone actually from Apple Corporate bought everybody that was in the line at that time sandwiches from a deli.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's awesome. So how does it feel to be first? Have you ever been first in...
very long.
It just seems such a long time ago. But this is the first time I've actually really ever gone for a product to be first in line, just right at the you know.
You never waited in line for concert tickets?
A long time ago. I think 1992 for The Cure.
The Cure. Okay. What about you?
We flew 35 hours yesterday to get here, so we figured we might as well stand in a queue like us. I've never done this before. It's probably the craziest thing I've ever done.
Awesome. Well, and they picked the right day of South by Southwest Interactive because I don't think there was a whole lot going on today, was there?
We thought it was a ghost town yesterday. Yeah, we missed the Google guys, but anyway, it's worth it.
And the Lane Book and Facebook panel would have been great to see, but you know, I guess you gotta take your losses where you can.
It's a sacrifice.
That's it. You sacrifice for the cause. Well, congratulations, gentlemen. Enjoy your iPad. Here come the Apple employees. Ladies and gentlemen, your Apple Store employees. This is fantastic. Nothing like being a rock star for a tech event.
Exactly.
If there's one place you're going to get treated like royalty, it's going to be here at South by Southwest Interactive.
Wow. I think there's like an employee for every person in line.
I did not even hear what you said, Lisa. What was that?
It seems like there's like an employee for every person in line.
That's what it looks like.
You guys know how we could cut the line?
That's a very good question. And if I did have said knowledge, I certainly wouldn't disclose it while we're streaming live here on TWiT Live. How's it going, man? Wait, what's your name?
Joe Cohen.
Joe and
Eddie Cohen.
Where are you guys from?
Brooklyn. New York.
You guys are clearly brothers. I love this. So you guys just now showed up, right?
Yeah, for a couple of hours already. So we cut the line, it's not as obvious.
Well, okay. Now, what about this? Does it change the calculus if we found out that they said there were pallets and pallets and pallets? The guy who was here first in line saw them all come in.
I'll tell you the truth. I came back, like 3 hours ago I spoke to the first guy in line. He said, I saw pallets and pallets. I said, okay, I have to come at like 5 and I can get one.
Yeah.
So
And it's okay, so you're just going to wait the whole line? Or you just...
Crazy haircut.
Yeah, well, thank you. Those are crazy sunglasses.
What is this channel?
We're live right now on TWiT.tv, This Week in Tech Network. But in fact, we're going to go back. We got some friends of TWiT that we're going to meet over here. So we'll come over here and see some of these folks. That's one of the nice things about TWiT is that we have sleeper agents all throughout the area. It's fun to just walk up and down and then get people who recognize you as you walk around. And we got some friends of the show. Well, hello, Miss Eileen.
Hello.
Hey, I'm Brian. What was your name?
Matt Emmy.
And
Michael Sitarzeski.
And what's your name, buddy? Stefan, are you with these guys? Awesome. And so you guys are longtime fans of Leah Laporte and the TWiT Network, right?
Yeah, you bet.
And so how far back does your relationship with the network go?
Tech TV, of course.
Of course. And so how long have you guys been in line?
Since about 11 o'clock.
Now, in case you never know, there might be like a random hobo who's listening to the stream on a discarded 3G iPhone that he found laying around who's never heard of Squarespace. And I say that because anyone has heard of Squarespace. It's the fast and easy way to make amazing looking websites. Yep. The templates are incredible. You don't have to be a CSS wizard. You don't have to update your HTML file yourself. You're able to, any device, you just log in, you can make changes, you can...
And if you already have a blog, which a lot of people do, you can easily just transfer it to Squarespace. I just got bowled over
by one of the rock stars, the Kool-Aided up Apple rock star.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, you don't have to take our word for it. You can sign up for a free 2-week trial, and they won't even ask for a credit card. You just put in your name, you put in an address, an email address, so they can get in touch with you, and you are able to go live, so you can cover events like this as people walk inside. They also have an incredible app for the iPhone and for the iPad that allows you to update while you're at the bar, while you're on the street. You're able to, you know what I use it for is I get a lot of comments posted, and a lot of them turn out to be spam, you know? But when I'm at home, I never think to log into my site to be like, well, let me look and see if any comments are spam. But the iPhone app automatically pops up. It tells me that there's a new comment and it requests approval. And so I just go in. I'm able to mark it as spam. Yes, that's correct. Hey, look, OMG, it's Chad right here in line.
Hey, guys. Gotta go buy an iPad.
So do us a favor, head on over to squarespace.com/twit. It's important that you head to squarespace.com/twit so they're able to know that it's their coverage or their sponsorship of our coverage right here live at South by Southwest that's sending them the traffic as well. Boy,
people are getting excited now. Like, this is...
It is intense. Like...
There's like not just a line, but like a crowd of people like surrounding us.
It is almost
all going.
It is almost a lot. It's ecstasy on their faces. We're going to take just a short break, and we're going to change our batteries right here. It's orgasmic, right?
Hell yeah!
Make some noise if you're having an orgasmic iPad experience. All right, we'll be back in just a second, guys. And we're back.
And we're back. So the people are just flooding in. It's like they're getting grabby in there.
We saw, and you can feel we said ecstasy. It's an orgasmic experience. But you know what? Let's get a friend of the TWiT Network over here, Jonathan Strickland from How Stuff Works. Do you know Jonathan?
I do not.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Jonathan Strickland from How Stuff Works.
Yeah, and you do which podcast over at the How Stuff Works? Tech Stuff. Yeah, so obviously you have a vested interest in getting your hands on an iPad too as well.
I'm interested to see it at some point. I may have to wait a little while for the line to die down.
See, I would have pegged you as the kind of guy who would have been here in line.
You know, traffic is tough.
With a giant foam finger, number one.
Well, I have to remain objective.
Oh, okay.
I'm a journalist objectivity, so I've nailed my feet to the ground. and I don't have to worry about it so much.
Now, how do you do that? How do you keep yourself from getting caught up in the magical vortex of Steve Jobs?
Really, how do you avoid that? You just have to sit there and take a deep breath, remind yourself that every product out there has got pros and cons. The Apple products are amazing products, and I try to take the same approach with everything. I say, let's wait a little bit, and then I will go and I'll get it once the lines have died down, everything's calmed down.
So quickly, what's your biggest con with the iPad 2?
This line here. No, the product is it's a Steve Jobs and Apple has proven that the tablet is a successful form factor, and no one had done that before.
Were you at CES?
I was.
So at CES, it was like tablet.
It was tablet. It was,
and then Leo was like, "Oh, I love the Galaxy," and I was like, "Wait till iPad 2."
Yeah.
And it seems to be again another like slam dunk for Apple.
And it's a deserved reputation that Steve Jobs has for being some kind of mandrake wizard to make everyone just forget all those tabs. I mean, we just spent all of CES seeing 18 million social media enabled 3D tablets, and then just in one fell swoop to say those don't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
There's only the iPad 2.
He basically said that.
That's pretty much. They're like, oh, that's nice. You got some tabs, do you? So anyway, here's the iPad 2. So when you do now, is it a case where how do you insulate yourself from preconceived notions? Like, do you make it a point to listen to what people are saying about it and pay attention to that when you review a product, or do you try to keep yourself clean, like no spoilers going into it?
Well, first of all, I don't review products, which helps a lot.
Okay.
Because by not reviewing it, I don't have to worry about that. I look at how stuff works, and that's the beautiful thing, is that it's objective. Right? I don't say if a product is a particularly good buy or something that you should avoid. I talk about the actual nuts and bolts, what it is that makes it work, and the different features that are involved. So that's really my job does it for me. As long as I'm doing my job correctly, there's not a problem.
Does it frustrate you that Apple is so obstinate about not wanting to give specific tech details? I mean, obviously they said we got dual-core processors, but they still haven't said what resolution the cameras are, because perhaps they're not exactly proud of the megapixels on there.
It makes it difficult, certainly, to address all those in an article. However, we know that people are never going to be stopped by that. And, there's always going to be someone who's going to do a breakdown of every single product and tell you in detail what's in there.
Oh, it's the first,
awesome.
All
right, we got the first one out here.
Woo!
Let's go see it now. Look, thank you very much, Jonathan. Make sure to check out
So I was just
how
like
stuff works.
gravitating towards shiny
Now, this
things.
is great. You notice that the first one out was not necessarily the first person to wait in line. Did they drop it? Tell me they dropped it. That would have been awesome.
Nice one. Yeah.
All right, Tim, Mr. President, if I could borrow you for a moment here. Can we take a look at what you got? You want to help us out with the first unboxing here?
Wow, you guys want to see an unboxing from M Dialogue?
Like right here on the street.
Oh, you
said,
bet.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got two different ones. We have a 3G 64 and a Wi-Fi 64.
I'm going to say, if they're voting right now, I'm going to imagine what the chat room is saying right now back at the TWiT Cottage, and I got to imagine they're all shouting for the 3G. Whatever's the most expensive,
Yeah,
I have to assume is what we want to see.
Let's see.
All right, let's bust it open like it's some kind of street corner drug deal. Here.
I will let you.
You're going to let me?
I'll just hold it.
Oh! All right, here, we got to break the seal on it. Here, Lisa, you want to do the honors, or how do you want to break this open?
It's his
there we go.
iPad.
All right, there we go. I'm going to use. I can't believe Tim's letting me break the seal on the
This is hot.
iPad. You know what's interesting?
There's
is it
something
doesn't
sexy
say-
about peeling off the plastic.
It doesn't say iPad 2. I guess like the Apple attitude is there was an iPad 1. This is the iPad.
Well, they kind of disappeared. The iPad 1 just disappeared off the store.
It's sort of that 1984 Orwellian, like, this has always been the iPad.
Wasn't there like a video iPhone at one time?
Yeah, I believe it, right? All right, so here we go. We got this. Wow. And it really does just fill up the entire spot. And you can, let me go ahead and pull this out. I'm going to set this down on the floor.
So, nervous.
There we go. Now, it is substantially lighter. You can feel that right off the top. And I tell you, I was not sure how the side beveling was going to feel in your hand. Go ahead and try that, Lisa. See how that feels.
Oh, that's sexy.
Straight from Lisa Bettany. Put that quote on your website, Apple. All right, we're going to bust this open right here. And you can see, of course, the first thing you notice is that there is
Oh, wow.
the front-facing camera right there, dead center. What's funny is having something at the top of the bottom just makes it seem even more like an outrageously large iPhone. For some reason, I want to hold it up to my head. You want to do the honors, Tim? Press the button. See if anything happens.
Let's see.
This is great. We've gathered quite a crowd around us right now. We'll see. Did you hit the power button on top? Is that what you did? All right, hold it down.
Oh, it didn't work. I gotta go.
Oh, wait, no. I see a logo. I see a logo, sir.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so the logo's coming on.
And so the previous, now I know my most vivid memory was the bizarre moment waiting in line for the iPhone Gen 1 of having it and turning it on and not being able to do a dang thing with it because you had to go home and activate it.
There you go. You got to go home and activate it.
Is that really what we have to deal with again? It just...
Oh.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this presentation of the iTunes logo and a USB dongle. But
The screen looks a lot slicker, though.
You know what? Maybe I should go back inside to see if they'll set it up for me.
You know what? I like
That would
this.
be
We got an
hot.
undercover
That would
agent.
be
All
hot.
right. Thank you very much, Tim.
Here's
Appreciate that. Yeah, what a bizarre I don't want to say a letdown experience because obviously everyone's excited to get one and they want, they're.
But isn't that kind of the fun that that you have to try a little? You have to give a little to get a
I
little.
guess,
from
but it's
Apple.
I don't know. It's sort of this perpetual grind. You're just like, oh come on, I gotta wait more. I
Yeah.
gotta go home. And it's what's funny is like everything is this giant sense of community and oneness. They're like, we're here for the iPad too. And then the moment they get it, they're like, so long, suckers. And they run home to go get their iPad activated.
Well, it did feel lighter.
Yes.
And the screen seemed a lot slicker. Like it seemed a lot cleaner somehow.
Yeah, and I don't know how much of that has to be the spell that we're under with it being, obviously it's new and right here in front of us. But certainly, and obviously the form factor can affect how you perceive the screen itself.
The bevel, though, you were talking about the bevel. It did feel nicer, like to hold, and because I did feel like the iPad 1 was like a smidge bit awkward.
Yeah, well, and,
Like
and
in
it's
the
not as
pen.
bad as you think it's going to be. There we go. Oh, we're showing people off. We got the actual cover over here. We'll see if we can take a look at the cover.
Oh, the Snappy Snap.
One thing about the Snappy Snap cover, which I'm sure we're gonna tick somebody off at Apple for consistently calling it the wrong thing.
What is it called?
I actually don't know. So it's the Snappy Snap cover. The
Oh,
Snap
there you
cover. Let's actually, as soon as he's finished over here, we'll try to get him over here because they're pulling a little bit of what I think a very smart magic trick in that most of the people who have iPad 1s have them in the standard iPad 1 case, which essentially
I
doubles
know,
the bulk.
and we were talking about that, and I thought a really ingenious move would be to get like an Apple hole punch.
Oh, really?
Like $40, like nice brushed metal hole punch that you can make your old. Because I really like the old case.
Well, the old case is great, but specifically, here's what I think is smart about what they're doing. By not only did they reduce the weight by 33, reduce the weight by a little bit, I forget the amount, but the size by 33%. But on top of that, they by going from a standard case that covers both sides to the Snappy Snap cover that just covers the top of it, you eliminate a lot of the bulk of the case.
That's true.
So the subjective experience of holding on to an iPad 2 is going to feel from day one like it's much
But
smaller.
wasn't it part of it to like protect it though? I mean, have we gone from like protecting our devices to be like, hell, we just want this to be light and look cool?
No, I've always liked having my iPad bareback. Like I got one of the Rounce sleeves from Brett Rounceville's country, Rounce.com. They are awesome because they live inside the sleeve and you're able to pull it out. And now it's risky to run around with a naked iPad, but I think this is a good compromise because if you are comfortable with the idea of the back getting dinged up as long as you don't scratch the front,
That was
I think it's
tough
going to be a good...
for the iPhone for me. I did not, I kept it mint. It was like in a case the minute I got it.
Oh, not me.
Yeah.
I mean, people, anyone who knows me will tell you, I've broken so many iPhone covers. I refuse to. In fact, the first case that I've ever truly loved is the Mophie that actually because
I
of the
noticed
battery,
that.
having the juice pack on there. So now, what at home you use the standard case, right?
I do, yeah.
So when you get an iPad 2, are you going to do the Snappy Snap? You've already said you like the original case.
I think part of the experience is to Snappy Snap.
Yeah, you want to play with the magnets.
Well, yeah, who doesn't like magnets?
It's science, suckers!
Will they repel? I don't know.
That's right. Well, what an odd, I wonder if Tim's going to be successful in getting his iPad 2 activated. If he
Activated,
is,
yeah.
that'll be fantastic to get out here. Otherwise, it is a bit of an anticlimactic experience to buy it and then have to go home because, of course, you want... I remember, and again, back to my first iPhone experience, my buddy CJ and I waited in a line like this. We got it, and CJ was so excited that he did not drive to his house, but he drove the opposite direction from his house to go to my house just to activate it like 20 minutes earlier, so he didn't have to go all the way home before he got the whole thing set.
That's intense. Well, I think, as you said, like a lot of these people already have an iPad, so it's more like, hey, I've got it. Like,
right.
Then, like, I need to. One of the bummers for me, apart from the camera being slightly low res, was that, like, not having, like, the screen. There's nothing, the resolution of the screen hasn't changed.
Now, weirdly, I actually am a fan of the fact that they kept the screen the same resolution.
Okay.
And this is coming from a gamer's perspective because...
You want it to be fast.
Exactly. There's a trade-off. If they were to go to a Retina screen, sure, documents might have looked good, but you're going to take so much more processor power in order to bring it.
Mm-hmm.
And, in fact, the developers who said that the gap is closing between the 360 and the iPad 2, they said that this is a really good thing that for gamers, that they kept the resolution the same because the processor needs to catch up to the resolution that they have right now for satisfying gaming experience.
What do you think the percentage of iPad users use it for gaming as opposed to emails and documents?
Obviously, web surfing and emails
yeah.
are dominant, but I certainly hope, I would love to see the iPad 2 as a friendly gateway drug to get more people into hardcore gaming. The first game I saw on the iPad that blew me away was Rage HD on the iPad. It is a full-on first-person shooter that feels like a console experience on the iPad, and I, for one, can't wait to re-download it, look at it with better texture quality, with anti-aliasing, all the things that make it look so smooth and bring the higher quality gaming experience.
For sure. Smart water.
Smart water, yeah. Starting to look good right about now, a little bit of smart water. But you know what? While we're waiting to see if our undercover agent Tim was able to get a hold of an activated unit, we should take a moment to thank some of the other folks that make our stream possible, and that, of course, is FreshBooks. Now, are you familiar with FreshBooks?
No, you were telling me about it, and it sounds like a great thing for a freelancer like myself.
All right, now I'm going to give you my experience, but first I do want to get the read correct. We want to thank FreshBooks for supporting TWiT's live coverage of South by Southwest. FreshBooks is the easy online invoicing service. It gets you paid quickly, makes you look professional. Try it today for free for 3 of your clients at FreshBooks.com. And get this, every day of this month, FreshBooks is giving away a birthday cake to one of our audience members. And it doesn't even have to be your birthday, which I guess technically just makes it
It'll
a
make
cake.
you feel like your birthday, but you won't be getting older.
You know what? It's all the benefit of feeling like it's your birthday without getting one step closer to death. That's FreshBooks.com, and when you sign up, there'll be a place to say, how did you find out about it? Make sure to put TWiT in there. Now, let me tell you, I knew that we were going to be covering this. We found out that FreshBooks was sponsoring our coverage. Today, while I was at the gym, on the elliptical, I was like, well, I read that, and it's like, for me, I really do have like only 3 clients who demand that I send them invoices, and it's always a pain in the butt because I'm so lazy.
I know, I always do it in text edit.
Yes, exactly. Or you use a Word document. You're like, let me take that old invoice, type in new pricing on it,
and it
it's
looks
yours.
so ghetto.
And then you get embarrassed because like you forget to change. You're like, why did you put our addresses in New York? You're like, well, that's because I rewrote an old invoice. But what FreshBooks does, not only does it keep track of all those, but it keeps track of when you get paid on them. So, like, let's say it's been 30 days. Like, I'll forget. There are invoices that are out for that have been over 30 days. FreshBooks will automatically send them an email reminder.
That's awesome.
And if you're self-employed, if you're a small business, you don't want to be the bad guy that has to be like, where's my money, yo? But it's like, then this way, FreshBooks...
They're like, where's my money?
They're like, that's not proper business English. What are you, a street thug, Brushwood? It's like, give me my monies. But it'll automatically send off reminders so FreshBooks can be the bad guy that makes sure that you get paid. So make sure to head on over to FreshBooks, tell them TWiT sent you, and give it a try. Holy cow, that's how you share. Come on.
Hi. Oh, hi.
You just said it. So are you in line? Are you getting one?
No, I was doing stuff like you. I was doing interviews with people.
You don't have someone in the line?
No, unfortunately, I didn't pay someone off to wait in line.
You don't have the hookup.
No. Do you have hookups? Are you guys gonna get one?
We may have undercover agents who are retrieving iPads at this very moment.
Really?
We can neither confirm nor deny.
Have you had people come out with the new one?
Yeah, they're sexy.
We did. We saw a very lovely please connect to iTunes screen.
Oh. so they're waiting for it to process. But it has a camera.
Yes.
Camera, yeah.
Which is super cool.
Well, and you know, people are complaining about the camera, but I'm always tempted to remind people, like, the step from nothing to something is a very significant step.
And you use Daily Booth all the time, so are you going to be using this for...
Yeah, I think Daily Booth, I think Skype would be awesome. Do my Skype videos. I do a lot of video interviews for what I do, so being able to do it not just from a laptop, but like just have it with me, doing it on the go, whether it be, you know, in a cab or in bed.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, everyone just wants to take pictures. Just the camera adds a capability to it that so many people are waiting for.
So just when you walked up, we were talking about gaming on the iPad and the fact that so much more power is going to bring a lot more gaming to the iPad. Are you the type of person who would play games on an iPad, or which games would you play?
Well, I mean, Angry Birds is like the first go-to one, like a bigger screen version of Angry Birds. You can do it on your iPhone, but if you're a big fan, the bigger the screen, the better the game.
You got to be precise. You got to kill those freaking pigs.
But, you know, I think also for any sort of car game, like the iPad is so awesome and so much fun to play with. It just makes the experience of gaming that much richer, the iPad.
Now, one of the things we were wondering is if it's going to be kind of a gateway drug to get people who normally wouldn't get a console or play console games. Now that you're able to get that level of experience, do you think many people do that, or is that, or you're either a gamer or you're not?
I think that people that, you know, moms or regular kind of non-gamers that want just an easy experience, just because they like an iPad doesn't mean they're going to get an Xbox. Or,
you don't see a mom at home being like, "Die, suckers!"
Bottle
of wine
it's a different experience. It's easier to buy an iPad because you could use it for so many things and then experiment with the gaming thing. Whereas when you get an Xbox, it's like a bit more of a commitment.
Yeah.
Right?
Then it's like you've decided, I'm going to wear the Scarlet G on my chest.
It's just like a bit of a different world. If you're a gamer, you do it all. You can't expect people to
So
go
you
there.
are going to get one for yourself, right?
Well, you know what? I didn't get the first iPad because...
You sat out the whole first generation.
You know what? Like, because I had a lot of people around me, and someone I live with has an iPad, so I was like...
Right, yeah.
I don't need to get it. I'll use you.
but that's how it was. It's like, as long as you could touch it, you feel
I'm
like...
still interested in experiencing, you know, the Samsung tablet and you know, a smaller version and just different types of tablets and to...
You're not an Apple fangirl.
I've been...
You're a convert?
No, I've been doing Apple my whole life. Just not... I mean, the iPad I didn't feel like I needed to get because I had it in my household. You know?
Right.
But this one, I mean, hopefully I would totally get it. I love the iPad. I think reading experience, it allows...
You say would, so you're still on the fence. You don't know for sure if you're going to get it.
I'm not going to wait in line.
Yeah.
I don't have the time.
It won't be today.
Busy girl.
Don't you know who I am?
I'll definitely have to check it out because I report about a lot of this stuff. So, you know, you need to be in the know.
And for the first girl, I think, that we've interviewed, would you get white or black?
Oh, I'm a black person.
Yeah, me too.
Everybody's hating on white.
I'm not a pink. Like,
white gets dirty. I also throw mine around, and so like white, I feel like would get dirty more easily.
See,
black is a bit sexier.
I think that's a little bit prejudicial.
It matches my outfit.
I agree. Mine too.
Well, thank you so much, Sheila. It's great to see you.
I love TWiT. Great job.
Awesome.
I'll see you at South by
Tell Leo. Say hi to Leo. He's in transit right now.
Hashtag Chevy South by Southwest.
Okay. Awesome. Absolutely. We'll get on over here.
So we're heading to these are the people who just showed up. They're
you guys have just moved up. How long have you guys been in line for?
Since 3:30.
So okay, and were you all the way at the back of the line?
Oh, we were like barely halfway down.
Oh, wow. And so you're just now getting all.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Take care. Well, hello, gentlemen. You appear to be.
They're New Yorkers. I'll kick them out of Austin, no problem, if they're harassing.
These guys seem awful familiar. Like we saw them here recently saying they wanted to get in this line at some point.
Yeah, we noticed they skipped. We did notice that, but this is Austin.
Investigative journalism. We have live line skippers right here. Shun the skips.
Hey, you. Can we talk to Trey for a second?
Oh, thank you, guys.
Even though you live here, you're not...
My plan was pretty sorry. My plan was just to go stand here and look kind of lonely, and then I hoped someone would recognize me and offer to buy me. Well, I'll pay it back, of course.
When did you hear about the pop-up store? Were you surprised, or was it...
Well, I heard about it on Twitter, and actually I thought it was over there, but now I see it's over here.
Also, you were one of the ones who were fooled. Yeah.
And I do want to stand in line, but I don't want to stand in line. I can't decide. So,
well, it does. If it makes the calculus change at all, it does sound as though everybody in line is going to be able to get an iPad.
Maybe I'll just come in at the end and get it. And
see, smart man. All right, so our undercover agent Tim has emerged victorious. How did you talk him into activating it?
Well, they didn't activate it. they attempted to activate it. So,
but we're at least able to get past the iTunes screen at this point.
Yeah, at this point, you know, we've got the cover.
Yeah,
the
the
cover
snappy.
comes off, and then we can go right into your normal stuff, and then photo booth. You guys,
Obviously, we don't have connectivity, but right out of the booth. See, this is awesome. I had heard about this.
Very cool.
This is a fantastic. Hey, look, it's me. It's Raygun 01. It's Jason L. This is a fantastic demonstration of the A5 dual-core processor because everything is rendering previews in real time.
It's just so novel to have it on such a big screen, and it just looks so amazing.
The that Toro one cracks me up because I always think of that one chick who was laughing herself crazy.
Oh,
At a-
oh
There
no.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is cool. I never had the. I don't do Macs on my laptop, so of course I don't have the photo booth software. So it'll be fun for me to play with.
It's very cool. We see FaceTime.
need some library.
Updating the library from 0 to 0.
Yeah, FaceTime's not going to work because we're not connected to Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is pretty hard to come by in Austin.
Let's snap a couple of photographs with the front and back camera and just see how those look, because I know you're super interested.
Yeah, I'm
obviously
really
in the
interested
photo
in the
capability.
Wow, we get into
FaceTime's freaking out.
Yeah, it's all.
Here, we'll get out of there.
All right.
So we're opening up the camera app right now, and it looks exactly like the same as you would expect. The same kind of camera setup on there. There you go. We'll take a picture of Lisa. Oh. Boy, that is really... Now you're taking a movie
Oh.
right now.
Hey.
Yeah, you are getting a movie. I love those awkward movies that you take when you think you got it set on one setting and you have it on the other. Oh, do it again. Do it again. That way I'm photobombing.
Where's Leo? What's going on with
Yeah.
Leo's
He's
coming,
in
he's
transit.
coming.
He's running very fast across all of America right now at the speed of Leo. So let's see how can we see how those came out?
Yeah, let's go into those.
It does feel a bit awkward to hold.
Yeah.
Those don't look bad. Of course, we are in really good lighting conditions right now. It's the golden hour. We have a lot of reflected light coming around. I suspect the video will look better, and it does. The video looks much better than the still. You want to try to take one quick video panorama here? Take a look at the situation around us. And again, we've said this before, but the leap...
Here's one of the problems that I see is that right now, I'm done there. One of the problems that I see... I'm not a mic. There we go. So one of the problems that I see is that if you're not holding it in the right place, you're going to cover up the camera. So the camera's down here. So I would advise switching it up, and that's another issue there. It's like I just tapped it barely, and it took me right out of the camera. So it's going to take a little bit of doing to figure this out. But once you got it, it's recording. And there we are, looking at the crowd still lined up.
It does feel really cool to have like a full screen.
It gives you a much fuller perspective on how the final product's going to look. And now, unfortunately, I don't think... Now, is it transitioning on the fly? Does it use the accelerometer to tell whether or not... Yeah, I think when you play that back...
Here we go. This is like a magic trick waiting to happen. You ready? And then it's like I'm waiting for some street magicians to have fun with this.
Unfortunately, though, I think when you play it back, you're just going to see the camera go all sideways a whole bunch. Let's take a look at that. Because that would be amazing if it could actually... If it could change, if it could change the orientation on the fly, that would be incredible. Boy, and that's one thing that we're seeing an awful lot of now, thanks to the iPhone 4, are videos with very weird aspect ratios.
Yeah, so that's what it did.
So yeah, so whatever it is you started on is what you're stuck on the entire time.
Wait, no,
Oh, that's because you're moving it along with it, so it's flipping it.
Let's see what happens.
We're able to see sideways view. And of
That's
course,
your
if
hair
you-
reflecting.
in the back there. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm sure that Leo and Sarah are going to be talking all about it on iPad today.
For sure.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Tim. Tim Street, yeah, you got anything you want to plug?
Yeah, sure. I always like to plug M Dialogue. We do dynamic video ad insertion for live video, so there you go.
You got it. Thanks so much, Tim. Great to see you, man.
I'll high five you. Yeah. I can't like shake with my other hand.
Oh, you can't. Oh, because you're lefty. Yeah, you got the left-handed. Of course, you just rub elbows.
Well, that was really exciting. I mean, I'm impressed. Like, I think that I would use it. Even as a camera, as a video camera. I just think having the capabilities to do things that you couldn't do before is really exciting.
It's one of those things where there is a value to the spontaneity of taking a picture. This is not something, if I'm going to take a picture, I'm going to pull out my nice camera. If I'm going to take a picture and it's not super important, I'm going to use my phone. But if there's something happening right now and I have in my hands an iPad, I'm going to capture it, I'm going to go live, I'm going to stream it, I'm going to Skype it, I'm going to share that. And for those purposes, the camera, I think, is more than adequate.
And I think definitely having a full screen view, like for shooting video, especially if you're just shooting little things around the house or whatever, and now that you can edit, like obviously I wasn't going to edit anything on an iPhone.
Yes.
But I might use, GarageBand or iMovie a little bit more on the iPad too.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things where it's like there's a value to being able to get it done and get it done right now, especially if you do live blogging and if you want to be able to, put a package of it together and throw it up on your YouTube account. It is going to be amazing years from now to see the difference in the quality of homemade productions before and after this 3 or 4 years.
Take a look now. This is when these are all the stragglers, and the line is actually bigger now than it was.
Let's do a quick rundown. Let's see how far all the way back. Because at this point,
I'm just thinking that people didn't really know about it. Like it was such a shock, and unless you were sort of up to date on your feeds, you might not have even heard about it.
Absolutely, and of course, we were in a position at TWiT where the moment the news came out, 8 million people made sure to let us know. But if I was just a guy who was looking for an iPad here at South by Southwest, it would never have occurred to me. I would just go to Google Maps, type in Apple Store, and that's where I would go.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are just hearing about stuff last minute. We'll ask these guys, how long have you guys been in line at this point?
About 3 days.
About 3 days? No, seriously, when did you guys get here?
No, we got here 2 hours ago. Yeah.
Okay, so you were here, you were at the back of the line.
We were right before the corner.
Okay, so at this point, we still have, these are all people who came in before. We're trying to see who was the straggler to come in last minute. but good news, it sounds like you guys, they got plenty of iPads, is what I'm hearing. I totally just made that up. Did Chad and Lane come out? They're next to pay? All right, let's go. We can go see them. We can go. Chad and Eileen are inside
the Apple Store.
We're going to totally go all voyeur on them. Nothing creepy about it. Where are they? Do you see them? What? Oh, they're over here. Did you just use... Hold on. Give me that megaphone. Where's the... Are they in there? Can they see? Chad, if you can hear me, I don't need the cover. No cover for me. Chad, don't get a cover. Don't get a cover. I don't need one.
I can't hear you.
God, you are a bad person. He says he's buying 4. All right, good enough. All right. So they got them right there.
4.
Hey, there we go. Success. Fantastic. Well, let's go I want to get hands on.
No,
give me. There we go. All right, we're going to go meet you guys out front. We'll go run around to the back.
It's not really truly exciting until it's yours.
I know. What's funny is I've already touched them. I've already seen them. I'm like, but that one's mine.
Yeah,
it's going to be different. This is my iPad. There are many like it, but this one is mine. I've given her a name.
Oh, it's a her.
Sure. If I'm going to spend alone time with her, it's got to be a female.
All my electronics are male.
What's that?
All my electronics are male.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, I wonder how many people actually name their electronics. I wonder what that says. I think my wife would be deeply disturbed if I named one of my electronics a female name.
Yeah. I don't... Do you name your devices?
No, I actually don't usually.
Yeah, I mean...
Although, perversely, I just name them what they're called.
Yes.
You know, which is
the iPhone 4.
Yeah, exactly. Although that's something that's always driven me nuts. Have you noticed in all the marketing, they use the words iPad and iPhone as a proper noun? They're like, say hello to iPhone. Or it's not the iPhone or an iPhone, but it's like, iPhone has the amazing ability to do whatever. It's like, it's not your buddy, man. It's not Larry. This is my friend Jammer B.
Well, I've become pretty close to my devices. I mean, I feel really like I've really bonded with the first one, and that's why I'm shocked at people who just give them away. Like, I really love my devices. Like, the iPad was such an amazing thing. Like, it was crazy to go from a giant, MacBook Pro that's just, like, weighing you down to, like, oh, I'm on the internet.
No, see, to you, it makes it sound like you have some kind of partnership with your electronic, like you're on equal footing. Not for me. I'm like, that's right. You're an object, and I own you, and you're a thing, and you're awesome, and I'm awesome because I own you. And I think that's why I don't like to name them. In fact, I don't look my electronics in the eye.
Really?
I'm ashamed of my ownership of them.
All right. Well, I gotcha. So it did look like the line was growing. Like, I'm wondering how.
Well, and we'll get a chance to go back and check all the way at the back. I'm certain that we still have stragglers that are feeding in. In fact, I wonder how late they're going to go tonight.
That was my another question I had is, are they going to just keep this open until everyone's satisfied?
I got to imagine, especially because this is not only an opportunity to move a lot of iPads, this is very much a publicity event. I've said it before, Steve Jobs is the P.T. Barnum of our generation.
Oh, no
And it
doubt.
would make total sense. I mean, if you're going to go crazy enough to have this pop-up store just for the opportunity to sell to South by Southwest, you would be crazy to shut down the stream of money coming in the front door just because it's 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or whatever. So I have heard, we're hearing that it's 10 p.m., so if you're here in Austin, come on out. My guess is they've got to have
And my
plenty of
guess is
iPads.
that if you start lining up now, that you're probably going to get. I mean, it looks like it's pretty slow goings to get the actual iPad, but
There's a lot of people. Now, we should mention also that the estimates were, the question was, there were some people saying that as many as 500,000 units might move just today, which, considering that today isn't even a full day, that they started selling at 5, would be absolutely amazing. It'll be interesting. Certainly, here's the other thing, is most analysts are predicting that they're going to cross 1 million units faster with the iPad 2 than they did with the iPad 1, which sounded crazy to me when I heard that, because I figured everyone already has an iPad, but they pointed out that's exactly what happened with the second generation iPhone. When the second iPhone came out, because they were familiar devices, and a big part of the hurdle is everyone wondering, well, do I need one? But then once they've been out in the ecosystem for a while and an improvement comes out,
sure.
people are like, I can see a place for this.
I think, a lot of. Awesome.
I'm a very proud papa. From what I understand, Chad's about to come out with my very own iPad, too. I'm not gonna lie. I have this perverse desire to do something really stupid, like just smash it. Be like,
Will
I'm
it
the
blend?
first person to smash an iPad, too.
No, it's too beautiful. It's too beautiful. Will it blend? Will be like hot on your tails if you do that.
You're like, Brian, you made a promise to that iPad. You promised to love, cherish, honor, and obey your iPad.
Oh, he's
All right, we
coming
got
out.
Chad coming out here. Let's get on over here. We'll see. OMG!
Oh.
It's Chad's with my iPad. Hey! Fantastic. Thank you so much. So talk about the experience inside of doing the sales thing. You guys were in there a long time.
Yes, the lines are crazy. They don't have their normal setup to check us out. Here, I'll let you do the honors.
Step off that curve. You're making me feel small. In fact, I'm going to step up here so I feel tall compared to you. There we go. Now we're okay with this.
So you open up your iPad. It was amazing. I mean, it feels like a real store. There's no like, oh, that's nice how that looks like cookie cutter and made up. I mean, it feels like a real store.
That's awesome. And so the process was familiar if you've ever bought an iPad or an iPhone?
Yeah, exactly. They very TLC, very, hey, welcome to the store. I'm the employee that'll be helping you out today. Look at that.
Now, did they say, because everyone we spoke to, a lot of them wanted the lower end iPad, the 16 gigabyte Wi-Fi. Were they acting? Did you ask them if they were worried about availability? Were you able to get anything out of them as far as running out of them or anything?
I didn't ask specifically if they were afraid to run out, but the employee that we talked to said he was going to be there until midnight tonight. So they are expecting to be open for a very long time.
Yeah, we've heard that they're definitely open until 10, but I would imagine as long as the dollars keep rolling in, they're going to keep on going.
Does that feel sexy?
It really is lighter. Just hold that.
Yeah, it is sexy.
Now then, they have stations set up inside so that you can, because we had the problem, they had the problem last year of you turn it on and then it says connect to iTunes. So they have stations for you to
awesome.
sign in so you can walk away with a working iPad.
Well, that's great. We didn't know if that was a case where we were trying to sweet talk our way into something special with getting that done, but that's great that they accommodated that right from the beginning. And of course, that it really is all you could do right out of the box is just see the Connect to iTunes logo. I'm going to hold down the power button here so that we get the initial boot. But of course, that's all we're going to see is the Connect to iTunes. And I got to imagine these out of the box probably have the iOS 4.3.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, we didn't get confirmation.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Maybe I'll go in. Hey, in fact, you want to go in and activate this?
Yeah, sure. Let's try.
All right, here.
They might have problems they might have problems with people density inside, but I'm gonna go see if I can.
All right, let's do it again.
Can you text over your credentials?
Oh yeah, because you need all that stuff. That's a good point. Yeah, I will. I'll give you the password and everything. That's awesome. Yeah, I kind of like
Make my iPad work.
I feel like a tall guy. I feel like Tom Merritt standing there. That's awesome. Here, I'll get down here. Eileen's out as well. Let's see if we can find Eileen and get her impressions. Eileen!
Is one of these
Christmas?
Woo! Are one of
Free
these
iPad.
Leos? Which one's Leo?
Leo's is the 64 gig Verizon, and I think it's this one.
Oh, and he got a cover?
I got a cover for him. I didn't know what color. Sarah, I was able to get on the phone, and she wanted red, so I got red for her. This is Leo's. I don't know. Maybe he'll like it. It's leather, though.
And did you get black iPads for everyone or?
No. Sarah wanted white, so I got white for Sarah.
We actually haven't seen a white one.
Oh, I don't know from that. There you
Oh
go.
yeah, you know what? Actually, they probably do want to do their own unboxing. Let's open their presents. Woo!
They weren't here. We'll take it.
And then let's see. Is this Leo's?
Obviously, like cellophane tape it back shut. You're like, no, straight from the factory.
Did you open yours? Yes, I did. Which one?
In fact, we got Chad in there to get it activated.
This is the black 64. I guess they all look like they're. Oh no, yeah, black. There you go.
Yeah.
Black 64 gig Verizon. He wanted Verizon, so that's what I got. Okay, did Chad tell you about the experience going inside?
Well, that's what we were just starting to get into because he said that it was so retro with cash registers.
Oh, well, just walking in was like any Apple experience where they were the loudest group of cheerful employees I've ever seen. I'm like, is this up with people or what? And
Do we know where these employees came from? Did they borrow them from the other store?
yes, some of them from Barton Creek, some of them from the Domain, and our guy who was helping us didn't know the location. I mean, he knew because he'd been reading up on all the rumors, but he didn't know the location. They didn't tell him the location until this morning.
That's amazing.
So it was
that they
like
would be
a
so
super secretive.
Yeah, super secretive. They didn't, they told the employees last night, hey, you're going to go to a super secret location. Most of them knew where it was. And he ended up going to the Driscoll, hanging out, and then nobody was there. So then he texted his manager, and they said, come on in here. There are a lot of people here, and there's still people, I guess, in line. Holy crap, these are the people from the back?
Yeah, and these are the people who we saw at the very beginning of the evening when we started our coverage. Now they're up there in the front, but the line is still fully formed all the way back around.
Where are your friends? Are they still?
They were behind you, so I'm guessing they're probably still in there.
Yeah, the line in there, okay, once you get in there, it was like a sea of blue people going, yes!
Smurfs is what we call them.
I was completely dying laughing. And then I'm wondering, because they make you go to the end of the store and you see people already buying things. I'm like, oh, am I supposed to be in line? No, you're supposed to wait for an Apple Care customer to help you, and you tell them what you want. And I actually forgot which one that Sarah and Leo wanted, so I had to call them, which took a little bit longer. But anyways, then the register line got flooded with people. I don't want you to get hit.
Oh. This is a VIP. He just
I'm glad. Thank you for bringing the car around. Listen, I told you I didn't need it until 7, but I appreciate you being here so early. No, that's fine.
I don't even remember. Oh, so then you get pushed in. It's kind of confusing in there until you find another blue shirt to help you, and then you tell them what you want. And then it took forever in the register line just to get up to the front.
Was there any word or indication of certain units running out before other units?
No.
Because again, going up and down the line, we were shocked at how many people just wanted black 16 gig Wi-Fi only.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why I wouldn't want the 64.
Well, but you know what I think that's something that they're winning on price. The fact that for $499 you could get the dual core A5 and you know something that's a competitor.
It's fairly pricey for someone who doesn't invest a lot into electronics to get something that's $500. But I mean, if you're using it for email and surfing the web and kind of using it almost as a replacement to a laptop, I mean, it's really a steal at $500.
Well, and especially if it's gonna live at your house where it will always have Wi-Fi, there's very little reason to have a lot of storage on it. It's only like if you got the kids and you're taking your movies with you, you want to have the storage to put several of them on there. But you know, I know I've never even filled up my first generation iPad. Really? Did you? Yeah. Which one do you have?
I have the 64 and I filled it up.
What are you doing?
What do you fill it up with?
I've got movies and TV shows and tons of music. I have a lot of media, a lot of video media, and I keep that there because of the travel, and then I just don't delete them.
You see, like all of that is all stuff I watch on Netflix instant streaming, so there's no reason for me to have it on there. I think I only have like 2 movies on there for the kids.
Well, when I buy them, I don't really buy a lot, but I just keep them on there, so it just fills. And you know, I basically, what do I have, a 32 gig iPhone? So then I fill up that with all my music, or as much as possible. So all of that gets transferred to the iPad. So that's taking up half the, you know, size anyways. I just, you know, it's like nice to have it wherever you go in any device. Hey, here's your iPad.
Holy cow, look at that. Chad comes back victorious. So tell us about the process of getting that activated. What do they do?
Yeah, pretty much all he did was plug it into iTunes until it went to until it actually turned on. I didn't put in any of your information.
I was about to say, I never texted you anything. How did that
Exactly. So whenever you go to iTunes, it's going to ask you for the password, and then that's when you're going to be able to download all your apps and things like that.
So do you want to be the inaugural first photograph?
Me?
Yeah, take yourself a photograph. What do you press to? There you go.
Let me get rid of this box.
Yeah, how would you not hold it in the box?
Exactly. Okay. All right. So let's choose normal, and here, let's get you in there too.
All right, there we go. Hold on, wait, I fell on this.
Sorry.
There we go.
3, 2, 1.
Well, that looks a lot better.
Yeah, you can tell even just movement quality seems better. There we go.
You can see. Look at that stubble.
I can see some nose hair.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I did ask about availability.
I love this guy back here, photobombing. That's awesome. Here, let's run to the back and see how long the line is. You want to get some footage? We'll see if it's gotten even longer. Hey!
Yeah, I know.
Hey! We're live, so you got to hide your face. Otherwise, they'll know. They'll know who you are. That's nobody. Pay no attention to the invisible woman you just met. This is going to be like the status thing to be seen with at South by Southwest. If you ain't got an iPad 2, you're not nobody.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
nothing as a person.
And apparently, if you have the white one, it means like your boss, because you're like, oh, mine's new. Maybe they should hand out little stickers that say like, this one's new or
You're like,
something.
that's right. iPad 2. You got a problem with that?
Bitches.
What's up? What did you just say?
iPad bitches.
Oh.
It's a
I think
Jersey
that's
Shore.
fine. That's what all the kids are saying. Hey, what's going on, man? How long have you been in line?
About an hour.
So you arrived. Did you arrive after the doors opened?
No, it's just about an hour and a half, maybe.
Okay. So you were just somebody who was like, oh, well, it's supposed to be open at 5, so I'll show up at 5.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to be at South by Southwest today. Why should I wait in line all day long?
Were you surprised at how long the line was?
No, I wasn't too surprised. I mean, I've been in longer lines here.
Are you worried about them running out?
Nah.
You have faith in Santa Jobs.
I have faith in Santa Jobs, yeah.
Awesome. He'll bring the magic of iPad to all of us. So at this point, these are all people who showed up after.
The stragglers.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
assuming.
okay, now before we round this corner, we got to take a side bet here. Longer? What's going on, guys? Longer or shorter than when we checked at the beginning?
Longer.
You think it's longer?
Yeah.
All right, let's cross the corner. We'll see. I'm going to say it's longer as well. Let's see. Definitely about the same one. Wait, are you on iPad? Oh man, that's a good idea. Would you think people would pay?
I don't know. Let's ask.
Dude, hey, theoretically, hypothetically, if we were to sell this iPad for $700, it's a $499 16GB Wi-Fi only, would we have any takers to not have to wait in line?
I don't know. I bet that their answer would be.
They said because you
we
took it
got
out of the box.
We got one. Your credit's no good here, son. You're just teasing everyone running up. That's awesome. So we've got, I want to see who's the latest. This is like getting the last person to finish the marathon. Or actually, it's the reverse. We're getting the first person to start the marathon. Let me get these guys right here. Hey, how's it going? Can we talk to you guys for a second? Awesome. You guys just showed up, right? Yeah. Awesome. What's your name?
Mike.
Mike, where are you from?
New York.
New York. And it's now, what, 5? They've been open. Doors have been open for an hour now. It's 6:02 p.m. Are you worried about whether or not they're going to run out or not?
I don't know. I basically position myself in line, and then I'm going to figure it out from here.
So now, was it a case where it's like you knew you wanted one of these, but you just didn't feel like waiting in line early?
Yeah, you know, I'm not too hardcore with this stuff, so I'm coming from a session and took the what is that thing? A rickshaw over here, nice and easy. In no rush, so I'm not in hardcore fanboy mode or anything.
I can't believe you guys don't have, like, drinks while you're waiting in line.
The Popo's coming.
That's right.
It's a disruption.
Somebody just got their first bill from AT&T. We got to get rescued. Well, thanks so much, man. Enjoy your purchase. Appreciate it.
Someone needs some smart water.
See, Chad's already figured out, like, the proper grip for the iPad. Right. So you use the monkey claw technique.
It's official.
To do it. But it's amazing. There's never been a device where you see what you're looking on this big of a screen, so portable. And so it's very amazing to kind of look at that through the world. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we were talking about it. I think what we decided is that very likely it will be less and less awkward over time. Oh, there's a zoom on there. Let's see how far we could zoom and how it looks. Let's look at that bicycle there.
Wow.
Wow, it's really grainy.
Wow, that's really grainy.
I wonder if that's a preview here. I'm actually going to snap a picture of it.
No, that's definitely how it looks.
Yep, that is how it looks. But now we can go through, see. I don't know.
And of course, you could tell there's no HDR on there, obviously.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was any HDR at all.
But obviously, camera apps are going to improve upon that and improve because, you can improve upon the zoom and you can do other things.
Whoa! Look at this.
It's moving.
The line, it vanishes. Wow.
We're moving.
Well, now we'll move on forward. Look at that. Well, at this point, I don't know. I feel like I've seen just about all there is to see. Yeah.
Somebody gets in line pretty soon.
You don't want to be the last guy all the way up to the front, right?
I feel kind of like a loser all the way at the end.
We'll hang out with you for a while then. Just make you feel better for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Thank you guys so much. We hope you enjoyed our coverage. And, of course, all this will be edited. It's going to show up in the TWiT Live Specials feed. I want to give a huge thanks to everyone who showed up here, to our fine friends, part of the TWiT Army in line, Jason Howell running the camera, Lisa Bettany. Bye, guys.
Bye.